What if there were nothing stopping you? What would you do? Now, we've all heard it before. We know the routine, we have to reach for our dreams. But most of us don't achieve those dreams. In fact, more often than not, those who set high goals for themselves don't reach them. 97% of people never realize their most important goals. Why is that? Well, it's because it hasn't become a psychological necessity. There's a brilliant phrase for this, which is called psychological imperative. And that psychological imperative basically means this is who I am, this is what I have to do. I like to talk about it as our identity. Until it is our very identity, until it is part of the core of who we are, then realizing that dream is often out of reach. But as soon as it does become our identity, then we have to realize those goals. So this has happened to me a few times. The first time was when I was leading a flood defence campaign. I can tell you that story another day. Another time was when I really struggled to do the right thing in my marriage. I was so angry, so hurt, and I felt so alone that even though I knew the most skillful thing to do, I knew my relationship skills inside out, but I didn't want to follow them. Why not? Because I didn't think he deserved it. I was so upset. So what did I do? Well, like every good artist, I went up to my studio. I picked up my pen and I started to draw, and into the lines and shadows of my face, I drew my purpose. I drew the woman I wanted to be in love. I drew the gratitude I wanted to feel. And as that gratitude and love was looking back at me through my eyes, the tears dried up, and there was this woman smiling at me from the page of my portrait. And as I looked at her, something broke inside me, something changed, something shifted. And I realized this is who I am, and this is what I have to be. So when next time I saw my husband, we sat together and I told him how I felt, skillfully, of course. And as we sat there, he just held me, and I knew that he was there for me. And it wasn't until I'd created that psychological imperative that the dramatic changes happened.